Well, Yellowflash's book has launched today, and of course, the Comicsgate Spurgs are out there going absolutely ballistic on him, trying to destroy him, trying to tear it down, trying to say he's failing. Oh my gosh. Now, we're a few hours into this, and the Rippa site says there's 730 books sold. We're going to be well over 1,000 by the end of the day, and this is a soft launch, as Yellowflash is really going to have a big one with his Flashcast tomorrow, where his big audience tunes in. Usually gets 2,000 or 3,000 people watching his show. That's a pretty big thing live, and of course, it's going to pop up on the second day, much bigger than a lot of campaigns would because of that. Now, this is something that's been long awaited, and Yellowflash's fans have been very, very excited about this. And he's teamed up with a great artist, John Dillard, who did the work on this, who has been doing wonderful work in the past. And so this is something that looks like it's going to be pretty good. If you don't know, it's kind of based on the Super Saiyan situation in Japan, and has a lot of homage towards that with like a patriotic theme in America, and of course set in the past, which makes it pretty interesting just by itself. He's got Literature Devil, who's a wonderful, if you've not seen Literature Devil in his channel, the guy does the best literary analysis. The guy knows comic books. He's produced some wonderful comic books himself with Dr. Alpha. I don't know if you've read those. Fantastic stuff. And so he has a team here that is doing everything right. Now, he's teamed up with Eric July and Rippasend, and this is the third project on Rippasend. The first one was Jay, Drunk 3PO. And by the way, all these same guys who were going to show them complaining, were complaining about Drunk 3PO's book, saying it was a failure as well, when it actually sold more books than the first campaign. So it's like, how did that work? And then, of course, Eric July got Angel Studios to do their Gabriel and the Guardians graphic novel, which is pretty crazy that he's teamed up with Angel Studios as well. Now, Eric July has been putting out book after book every single month. There's something new coming out, maybe even faster than every month. It's been pretty wild, and we've seen that his total sales for the year are actually getting to the point where it might even eclipse his total sales for last year, and we're only 4 months into the year, which is pretty wild just by itself. Now, Yellowflash has his own audience, and if you don't know, Yellowflash really came up in comics and was one of the original Comicsgate guys like myself. I did not have a YouTube channel back then. That was dumb of me. Oops. But he started and he came up on YouTube and was talking about the terrible things happening at Marvel and DC and wanted to build something different because of that. And he's been talking about making comics for a long, long time, so people have been eagerly awaiting this for a long, long time as well. So he's doing really well upon launch. This is a fantastic launch by all accounts. This is looking really, really good, and it's going to, of course, only get better as it goes up there. He's got a $100,000 pre-order goal. I'm sure he's going to eclipse that by maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night, and these guys are going to see every step of the way, and that's where it's going to go. They've been ramping up attacks on him personally, and this all comes because of Eric July. That's really what it all comes down to, and this is what happened as well on my end. I was hanging out, making some good comics. They didn't want me getting big. They didn't want you guys finding my comic books. I had one of the best, most successful campaigns ever. They had their followers go and report me on Kickstarter, so they'd ban me on Kickstarter to try to kneecap me. Really, really sad that these guys act like this, but they just don't want competition in comics that actually delivers, and that's what it comes down to, and that's exactly why they started attacking Eric July to begin with, and where all this goes through. I'll try to parse this out so you can kind of know the lore of where all this goes down in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us as we talk about all things in comics. I'm very excited for this. I backed it myself. And guys, if you want a difference in comics as well, please sign up for my newsletter. This is where to be. I give you 3 free books for doing so. It's the first link in the description below, and you get a full graphic novel. And of course, this is really, really a great spot because I am producing 9 graphic novels right now. Some amazing stuff that blows away a lot of the stuff out there, and you'll want to be on this newsletter just so I don't lose you. So thank you guys for signing up. We've had one of the biggest newsletter growth months ever, and it's all because of comic readers like you. So check this out, guys, and if you do want to support us, we do have an online store, and all of my books are always available. I don't really go with this collector's fake thing where you can't get my books or anything like that, because I want to encourage people to read. That's the whole point. I'm an author. I do this full time, and it's all, again, just because we've been able to build something else, a movement away from this. We're actually building a culture based on conservatism, based on real values, based on real heroism in books. It's good stuff right here. Thank you guys for being here. But yes, first thing to do is sign up for that newsletter so you don't miss a release, and I appreciate you for being here. All right, so this is it. You can see that we got a bunch on the Mighty Golden Patriot, 4 covers, pretty standard for Eric July. You got like a non-limited cover at the cheaper end, a couple semi-limited covers. Got Mike S. Miller doing one of those. That's the one I bought. And then you got like a much more limited cover, which is the one that they have at the highest. They've got some graded ones that they're selling out. This is pretty cool too. There's a Tales from the Battlefield ash can, which actually has Literature Devil on here. I believe as a co-writer, and Dachel Okamoto, who's worked with me, the Quaff. He's done a couple of books with me as well. Did the art on this. Looks fantastic. So I bought both of these books to start this, and I would recommend doing so. Something's really, really funny right here, and this is called the Pay Your Artist shirt. And if you don't know the lore behind this joke, we're going to get into this. So like I said, Yellowflash came around back in like 2016, 2017. He was really building a channel based on his YouTube commentary on comics, and he got pretty big, and he expanded that to mainstream pop culture, and then he got really big after that as kind of comics faded because people were not paying attention to mainstream comics anymore because, of course, Marvel and DC just kept doubling down on their nonsense. He was a part of Comicsgate and hanging out, and of course, we've been back and forth. I popularized that hashtag to begin with, and then eventually Ethan Van Sciver came in and kind of co-opted it for his own like kind of personal army sort of setup, where he turned everything. At first, it seemed like it was a talk about promoting comics, and it was for a bit. We called that the Summer of Love back in the day. And then he started turning on people. The first person he turned on was Vox Day, and Vox Day was making a beautiful website called Archaven Comics, and you can actually go there right now. It's archaven.com. And on Archaven, Vox Day is, of course, just publishing comics for free, much like Webtoon and the like. You can see it's got 16 million views, absolutely crazy. It's got Stone Toss on here, Ben Garrison, a bunch of good stuff. Chuck Dixon writes books on here. And that was the first person Ethan just went at real hard. And because I was associated with him, Ethan also went at me real hard as well. And so he tried to cancel me and have his personal army get on me real hard. He apologized in 2021, right after the Trump stealing of the election. He kind of realized, hey, we kind of got to work together and like build something and build something real if we're going to do something. And so I accepted the apology, of course. And that didn't last very long as he started going on live streams sniping at my books because he didn't want people to discover that I was coming out with good books on time and on a regular basis because it just kind of makes him look bad. And that's the trend of what happens here. He started doing it not just to me in Vox Day. He did it to Mike S. Miller for his books and his Christian conservatism because that was too real for him. He did it to Doug TenNapel. He started doing it to the Iconic Comics guys. Everybody who's like kind of on the conservative side who like starts to build a movement, he tries to just like kneecap every single time. And it's just sad. Like, I really would love to just like have Comicsgate be on the right track. Like I say, I'm not popular with like the anti-Comicsgate crowd because it's like I don't want to destroy any of these people. You got to understand my goal here is to build a movement that is opposed to the left and opposed to social justice. And these guys are also against social justice, so I don't want them to fail. I just want them to stop attacking other conservative creators and actually get back on track and actually build a movement where we all could just like build this and like a rising tide lifts all boats, which is very, very doable. It's just this sort of thing needs to stop. Unfortunately, about a year ago, he started turning his attention to Eric July and everybody around him. Jon Malin, Shane Davis, all the people on his show just kept attacking Eric July relentlessly. And Eric July's crime seemed to be he was just coming out with books on time and people liked them and they were more successful than these guys. And this is the trend that we see. Either he's trying to stop somebody from becoming more successful from these guys, or he sees somebody more successful and he has to try to tear them down a notch. He teamed up with like some like bad actors like Dick Masterson and people like that who are just like, wow, like in their entire careers and their entire commentary is just attacking Eric July. And it's really boring to watch because Eric July like does not really do that much that's like that interesting. No offense to Eric, but like you watch his videos, they're pretty just like, hey, here's a promotion of my book, and these guys just do hours and hours of content just trying to tear him down. It's like that's not like, you're not Mr. Medicare like laughing at somebody who's like really doing something ridiculous. Eric July is just not. He's just making a book. It's bad content, but that's what they do, and that's why they've lost a lot of their comic book audience, right? And so that comic book audience has moved over to Eric July, people like me, etc., as they've kind of drifted away from this sort of thing, and they just get really, really mad. Now, Yellowflash saw the writing on the wall with this, and he just was like, you know what? If you're going to keep attacking Eric July and these guys, I'm out. And these guys said fine, and then they just decided to attack Yellowflash full time, and they went at him hard personally. It was nasty, and this is what they do. Like, you'll talk about and you'll give a criticism like this, and I'll be like I said, I don't want to destroy these guys or anything like that. I'd just like them to be back on track. And I say this about your boy Zach too, who now all he does is attack Nerderotic all day. It's like, just get back on track and talk about comic books again. And then, like, that's what we want out of you. We want you to build a movement, and we could all help each other and lift each other up. It'd be very, very simple. I have a platform now that actually does, do some damage there. Like, when I actually do promote people's books, they sell. I mean, I my Amazon tracker, I've been looking at just my affiliate link, just based on what we've been doing. I've sold over 150 books of other people's books last month, and I mostly just post my book links. So it's like, there's something there. But hey, I guess it doesn't matter to them. Books don't matter to them, and that's exactly what's been going on here. So they started going at it this morning immediately as soon as this launched with this pay your artist thing. They tried to make this sort of thing because Yellowflash has a deal with John Dillard, who's the artist, that he's going to get a percentage of profits on this, and he's going to do very, very well with this, of course. That somehow that was not a good deal, right? And that's a terrible thing. And they started making this thing, and they kept saying pay your artists over and over and over again, like John Dillard was not getting paid and he was going to starve and be destitute. It was really, really ridiculous. And John Dillard made the deal himself, and he knows exactly why he made that deal, because he gets a higher percentage than he would have if he would have just got a page rate. Very, very smart of him to do so, and he's going to make a ton of money off this campaign. So Yellowflash and Rippaverse have, of course, made a lot of T-shirts like this, like just mocking these guys and what they've been saying. Eric July did a few of these. 3D Assets was one of them back in the day. Some funny stuff. And, they just get really, really upset that these T-shirts kind of exist. I think it's hilarious. So you can see, like, this just nasty behavior right here. Yellowflash is a despicable piece of shit for putting up a T-shirt, right? I mean, you got to remember that this is the level of vitriol you get just for doing something, right? It's really, really sad. And again, I've gotten this treatment from these guys for like zero reason, and it's very, very sad to watch as well. He's doubled down on this. Yellowflash be like, I don't give a F. I already got my investment back on this shit, and Dillard be like, what about me? So he's spinning this narrative that somehow it's failing and Dillard's not going to get paid. And I've been seeing this as well. Dick Masterson went in on this. This is an ad for Golden Patriot, the musical. Jesus Christ. Wow, of course it's terrible. Everything's terrible. The sky is falling. The book looks really, really good. It's very, very sad. And then he says, are the pay pigs tapped out? And he of course, posts a screenshot from a couple hours ago. And as you can see, it's been going steadily up. So it's like, this is how it works. It launches with 0, and then it goes up over the day. You guys are retarded. Yes. Now, not just them have been going off on this. Jon Malin was on a stream earlier. He's actually signing books with Coney Waves, who I like Coney Waves. He's a good guy. Good writer, and of course they've got their Graveyard Shift book. He dedicated that to just starting blasting at Yellowflash over and over and over again. And of course, without even looking, as he doesn't even have a monitor or a screen, he's just sitting there signing books, he starts declaring this a failure out the gate. And this is their narrative that they're going to run. They're going to say this book's a failure. No matter what it reaches, it's a failure. And so they're going to just make up a threshold that's going to be a moving goalpost over and over again, calling it a failure, much like they're calling Eric July's business a failure, even though he's got more books sold this year than any other year combined, and he's already only 4 months into the year. For some reason, that's a failure. But to them, it's not about books sold, right? These people don't care about books. They don't even deliver their books on time. They don't care about whether their customers ever get their books. It's all about just like making sure they extract money from pay pigs, and that's exactly where Dick Masterson is projecting, because that's what they do with their super chat brigade, and that's exactly all they do. Some of us are just about books, and we really care about books, and that's why Yellowflash's book's only $17. I mean, and then they don't charge as much as shipping as these other guys, so the campaign goes up in dollars a little slower just because of that. It's pretty obvious how that goes. The real truth told is the book's sold, and it's pretty crazy. And this is what we're doing over here too. I mean, I'm moving a lot of books every single month. I mean, we sold over 1,000 copies of my Demon's Eye that came out last month, and it was just on Amazon, so they didn't talk about it. They didn't see it. It's about books, and it's about readers, and this is exactly the movement we want to build. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter in the description below. Don't miss my new books, guys. I'm very prolific. I come out with them often. It's a great place to be. This is the real movement that's building here. Appreciate you for being here. We'll be back soon.